mörk är natten i midvintertid, men se, då nalkas Lucia. Hon kommer, den goda, med ljuset hit. Hon kommer med hälsning om julefrid. Hon kommer med ljus i sin krona. I mörka natten i midvintertid, vi hälsar dig, barna Lucia. Välkommen du goda, med ljuset hit. Välkommen med hälsning om julefrid. Välkommen med ljus i din krona. So dark is the night in the middle of winter when Lucia arrives. She brings light and greetings of peace. She arrives with a glow of candles in her hair, and we welcome you. Vivian comes from southern Sweden, and she will now talk about candle lighting in Advent. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. In the Nordic countries, they come down to Christmas, start with the Advent, when we light a candle for each Sunday on a traditional candle holder with room for 4 candles that you see right in front here. This little poem I'm going to read it first in Swedish and then I will translate it for you. Vi tänder ljus i advent, det värmer den som frusen är. Vi tänder ljus i advent, det sprider ljus i vårt mörker är. Och alla som är rädda och fryser på vår jord, de borde få sitta vid vårt bord när vi tänder ljus i advent. And here's the translation. We light a candle in Advent. It warms anyone feeling cold. We light a candle in Advent. It spreads light when it's dark. And for all who are afraid and cold on our earth, they ought to sit down at our table. We light the candle for Advent.
Tuia's native language is Finnish, and she will now tell us who is Ulupuki.
Good evening, everybody. This is a time of the year also that everybody is waiting for Joulupuki's visit. I have a little story about Joulupuki and its tradition about in Finland. Joulupuki is a Finnish Christmas figure. The name Joulupuki literally means Christmas goat or julegoat. The Finnish word pukki comes from the Swedish bock and the English buck or billy goat, and is an old Scandinavian tradition. Over time, the figure became more or less merged with Santa Claus. There is a long Finnish tradition of persons dressing in goat costume to solicit or perform for leftover food after Christmas. Historically, such a person was an older man, and the tradition refers to him as a nuttipukki. The term now also describes the practice reportedly continuing in some parts of Finland. Today, Joulupuki looks and behaves mostly like his American version, but there are differences. Joulupuki's house and workshop are situated in the mountains of Korvatunturi, whereas the American counterpart resides at the North Pole. Another difference is that instead of sneaking in through the chimney during the late night hours, Joulupuki knocks on the front door during the Christmas Eve celebrations. When he comes in, his first words are traditionally, Onkos täällä kilttejä lapsia? Are there any well-behaving children here? He usually wears warm red clothes, uses a walking stick, and travels in a sleigh pulled by a number of reindeer. Unlike the American version, the reindeer do not fly. In Lapland, pulka rather than a sleigh can be encountered. The popular song Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, in its Finnish translation, Petteri Punakuono, has led to Rudolph's general acceptance in the mythology of Joulupukkis lead reindeer. Joulupukki has a wife, Joulumuori, Old Lady Christmas, but the tradition doesn't have much to say about her. And here in the end, we have the traditional song where I will say it in Finnish language, which is actually answering the question to Joulupukki, is there any well-behaving children? So the children will welcome Joulupukki to their house when he knocks the front door and greet him and telling him that we know you, you're our old friend, please come in and we will spend some time with you. Also, the children are answering that yes, we are very well-behaved children. And we're wondering if your gift bag is very heavy. So here it goes. Joulupukki, joulupukki, valkoparta, vanha ukki. Eikö taakka, paina selkää, käyppä tänne, emme pelkää. Oothan meille vanha tuttu, tuhkalakki, karvanuttu. Täällä on myöskin kiltit lapset, kirkas silmät, silkohapset. Merry Christmas to everybody.
Who is Danish, will now introduce us to the history of the Christmas rice porridge, which is represented here tonight on our yearbook with the traditional cherry sauce. Here's Karen.
Hello, Ashton. Good evening. Some of you may ask, why do Scandinavians serve rice porridge at Christmas? Well, the answer is that the traditional Christmas feast in Denmark in the late 1800s began with rice porridge. This was rice that had been cooked slowly, not in water, but not in milk. It was served with butter in the center and a sprinkle of cinnamon. Rice was a luxury then, because